Welcome back to How This Mom Does It. Today I'm going to be going over our preschool curriculum for the 2016-2017 school year. If you're interested in taking a closer look at our choices, stay tuned. Okay, so first I'm going to be covering our literature choices for preschool. For my son, he's going to be 4. We are going to be using the Before 5 in a Row book. I did use this with my daughter. We also did a lot of lap books, and I'm not sure we're going to do that with him, but if he seems to like it, then we will. Otherwise, we'll just use some of the suggested activities and things that they talk about in 5 in a Row, because I really do like the program. Some of the books that I have, I don't have all of them, but I do have quite a few of the Before 5 in a Row. So I have the Carrot Seed, Corduroy, Blueberries for Sal, Ask Mr. Bear, Goodnight Moon, Runaway Bunny, Snowy Day, and I have several actually of the Jessie Bear books, and we really do like those. I'll be adding in some of my own books. I have David Goes to School, and because I always pick a back to school book for each child, so he's going to be doing David Goes to School. I have Brown Bear, What Do You See? And that's going to go over colors. And then I picked out a birthday book for him when his birthday comes around, Curious George and the Birthday Surprise. And then If You Give a Moose a Muffin. And most of these books I actually get used. We have a pretty good used bookstore, and I just go through and have a list of books that I'm looking for, and I just keep looking until I find them. So I do get these books. Most of them have cost about $1. So it isn't a huge investment, but I love building a good children's library for them. And they've both used the books, so I feel like I've got my money's worth. In addition to these, we are also going to be doing read-alouds. My daughter is going to be doing 1st/2nd grade, mostly 2nd grade this year, and she has a set of books that we're going to be going through for read-alouds, and he does participate with us for read-aloud time. He will sit through a chapter book, so he will benefit from that as well. So it's not just these books, he's going to be getting chapter books as well, but these are his set books that I plan to cover. So in addition to the 5 in a Row and the additional children's literature selections that I've made, we're going to be doing a unit study on pirates. I was gifted several Usborne books about pirates, and I found several more at our used bookstore, and I had the David Shannon How I Became a Pirate book already, so it just all came together really nicely, and I thought it would be a fun unit study for us all to do together. And this book I got used. It's an Usborne activities book, and it's pirate things to do, to make and do. And it's a bunch of fun crafts that the kids can make that have to do with pirates. So this is going to be a fun project that we're all going to do together. So these are books that we're going to be using for history for my preschooler. History isn't really a focus for him, but my daughter is going to be starting Story of the World Volume 1, The Ancient Civilizations. And I know that he'll want to participate with us, so I have these books that I was gifted, which are beautiful Usborne books. I love Usborne books. My daughter, who is the 1st/2nd grade, she loves them as well, so they will both use them, but they're perfect for my son, so he feels like he has something that's more at his level when we do our history studies. So we're going to be using those. And then for geography, I love these Montessori books. We have the, and I'll show you in a minute, the letters and the numbers books as well, but this is the map work book, and it's basically a board book, but you can feel it, it's rough. The continents, you can actually feel the difference, and they're all different colors and the textures. And then it talks a little bit about each continent, but it does it in a way that's very preschooler friendly. So I do love this book. So we're going to be using that when my daughter does her geography studies. He can get out his geography book, and then he feels like he's participating. So that is what we're going to be using for preschool geography. And this is what we're going to be using for Bible and character studies for my preschooler. We together as a family are going to be doing the Jesus Storybook Bible. This is primarily for my daughter, but my son is reading it with us. We're also using the Beginner's Bible, and I actually have my daughter read it to my son. And it's extra reading practice for her, and we all sit together while she reads it. But he will be working through this as well. And then he really enjoys the VeggieTales Bible storybook. He usually picks a story a night from this, and we read that together. We also picked up we're going to do quite a bit of curriculum from Christian Liberty Press. And so I went ahead and picked up the Bible Nuggets A to Z, from A to Z, and that is from Christian Liberty Press. It's part of their preschool package. So I haven't used it yet, but we're going to plan on using some of this with it as well. And then for character, we used this last year and we're going to go through it again. It's the Big Thoughts for Little People, and I love this book. My son loves it. He asks for it. My daughter loves it. It's just a really good book. So we're going to be going through that again. And then we're going to also be doing the Please and Thank You book. So that's what we're going to be using for Bible. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using for reading, writing, phonics, basically all the language arts. I'm using the Christian Liberty Preschool as our base. I wanted something that I knew was going to be fairly complete and I didn't have to think too much about or print or put together. I'm doing a lot of project-based work with my daughter this year, and I really just wanted something easy that I didn't have to plan for my son. So we're going to be using this, and I haven't used it yet, but I'm excited to. It looks pretty good, and I think he's going to like it. It's got lots of color in it. So we're going to be using that. In addition to that, we're going to be using the Montessori letter book, and we've already actually been using it, and he likes it. You draw with your finger, and it's a different texture, which is pretty cool. But we use this to review his letters, and he really likes that. So we're going to continue using that. We're going to use Get Ready for the Code. And then I've got several of these books. I've got tracing and the uppercase letters, and it's just for extra practice. And then we have the DK Pre-K spelling book, and pretty much it's the same. It's very similar to some of the other books. I would say it's a little bit of a higher level, but I pretty much got it so when my daughter was doing spelling, he has a spelling book too, because he likes to do what Big Sister does. So I try to get them equivalent things, but at their own level. So that's his spelling book when he's ready for it. So that's that. And then also, we're going to be using the Flash Kids reading skills. My daughter loves these in the higher grades. She's done first grade. We're doing second grade this year, and I just picked it up so my son had the kindergarten version of it. He may not be at his level, but I figured he'd like the same similar book as his sister, so I picked that up for him. And then we're going to be using the, we've already started using, you can see our bookmark. These are the Christian Liberty Press readers. And these are actually what I used with my daughter to teach her how to read in the very, very beginning. So I plan to use these with my son, and we have already started. So I just really like these for some reason. They work really well for us. So we're going to be using these readers as reading practice. Okay, and this is what we're going to be using for math. We're going to be using the Christian Liberty Preschool activity book. That does cover letters and numbers, but in addition to that, I have several other workbooks like this one, the Pre-K Math by DK workbooks, just to give some extra practice. And then we're going to be using, again, the Montessori books. I like these. It's the hard board books. This one's the number work. And they basically read the story, and you read it with them, and then they trace it with their finger, and what they trace is a rough material. So they can feel the difference of the number, and it's helping them learn the shapes of the numbers and learning how to write them. So we're going to be using that. And also I have some math literature books. I have One is One, 10, 9, 8, and Bug Dance. And Bug Dance is a pretty cute little book, and it teaches them about directions in a cute way. So like right, left, forward, and all that. So that is what we're going to be. These are my choices for science for this year for preschool. My daughter is going to be using elemental science, the grammar stage biology, and with that we're going to be using the Christian Liberty nature readers, and she has book 1 and 2, and I thought so my son could have something similar. I went ahead and picked up the K book, and it's pretty cute, and it basically gives stories for each animal for every letter of the alphabet. So I think he's really going to like that, and like that he has a book like his sister's, and it's a one we could sit down and read together, and my daughter will probably get something out of it as well. So we're going to be reading through that. And then we're also going to be going through some of these Let's Read and Find Out About Science books. I really like these, and I picked out the ones that we have. We have quite a few of them, and I picked out the ones that would go with life science. So What's Alive, I'm Growing, and My 5 Senses. And then so he has a little workbook to do if he wants to. We have a pre-K science book, and it's just a fun book, and it even has stickers. So that's what we're going to do. So these are my last choices for the year for preschool. I got an easy book, my book of Easy Mazes, and a Chocolate Island. It's a picture puzzle book, and those are more for critical thinking and logic for him. And then I also have a preschool practice scissor skills book. His scissor skills are pretty good, but I already had the book and I want to use it up, and I think he'd enjoy it. So we're going to go through that as well. And then I have a child safety coloring book, and it goes over a lot of different topics like don't talk to strangers and fire safety and some different things. Just a good jumping off point to cover topics with my son that maybe I didn't think about, or to see really what he knows, to see what we need to cover more in terms of safety. So we're going to go through that as well. And that is basically it. All of my book curriculum for the year. I do work boxes as well, and he will have puzzles and math manipulatives and lacing cards and all kinds of stuff, all in work boxes. And in a later video, I will show you all our work boxes as well. But for now, this is our preschool curriculum for the 2016-2017 school year.